again, welcome back on my YouTube channel. I'm back again with another video. So I've realized a lot of people are going through spiritual welfare, and I'm not gonna act like these things is not affecting anyone out there. I'm not gonna act like we all have a haters, we all have enemies. Some of the enemies is enemies that you won't even think they're enemies. So it's something that we have to go through things in order to understand that these people are actually not in your side. These people are actually hating on you. So this video is I'll be talking about why we should use our enemies. No, I'm not talking about you using enemies in the wrong way. I'm talking about you using your enemies in the most healthiest way I think it's possible. Because the thing is, with our enemies are not just um sometimes they're not bad as we think. Yes, they're awful people sometimes because they can go that low, but I'm talking about how we can actually use them in order for us to evaluate, in order for us to be better, in order for us to be anything that you want to be. Because at the end of the day, our enemies are part of our own struggle. Just think about life without struggling. I know we all want a simple life that is simple, easy, that we can get whatever that we want whenever we want. But just think about a life without our own struggle. But we need our struggle. We don't want our struggling, but we need our struggle for our own self development, or for our own growth. We need enemies for whatever. So we should use them. When I'm talking about you using your enemies, for example, we don't always know what we need in our life in order for us to be better. But sometimes we make decision because of things that we actually think we want, until those things that we want are here in front of us, and when we find out that we don't even want what we actually want. So our enemies know what we need before we even know what we need. You can make goals right now. You can say, I want to do this. This is what I want. This is my goal. This is whatsoever. And the next thing, the motherfucker come and just try to test you. You need that. You need your enemies to fuck your mind sometimes. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not saying people should be mean to other people. I'm not saying you should be just be like, okay, oh no, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a hit, fucking hit, like real hit. You're gonna go through some probably depression, go through so much in whatsoever because of what our enemies are doing to you. But we should use our enemies. This video is about you using your enemies for your own evaluation, because elevating, because we are constantly advancing. Sometimes we need our enemies to elevate. I'm not saying you're supposed to learn in the hard way most of the time, but for me, I've learned that I'm learning in a soft way, I'm also learning in the hard way. And because we are here on earth, earth is it's hell. It's part of our own hell. It's part of our own um heaven. We create our own heaven, because I like to believe that hell is a state of consciousness. Hell is yeah, it's state of consciousness. We have to walk through hell in order for us to see the light, because there is no light without darkness. How do you know this is light without knowing the darkness? That's why most of the time you will feel like you are free after experiencing so much, to the point that you feel like you will never get better, you will never get back better to the situation that you are in. It's because you know darkness before hell. That's why you will end up being able to know when you are experiencing happiness, because sometimes we don't know true happiness as something that we know happiness, but sometimes we put happiness in this toxic positivity, in this toxic way of trying to be happy all the time, which is not healthy. Because the thing is, every day has its purpose. Maybe it's a day, maybe it's a week, maybe it's weeks, maybe it's months, maybe it's years, maybe it's decade, we don't know. So we put so much into our happiness, we don't know that life is all about being consciously happy, being consciously sad, because it's part of life. We're not gonna run away from everything. The fact that you reincarnated here, there's extremely karmic reason why you reincarnated, why you were born in this earth. because we are, I like to believe we're all angels before anything. That's why we sometimes say people who are actually demonic are fallen angels, because we are all angels. At the end of the day, when we're dying, we take back our wings. But as much as we take back our own wings, here we have a mission. We are soldiers. We are sent to by God, source, whatever that you believe in. That's why um we end up dying, because that version of ourselves, us being me in this lifetime, being who I am, I needed to be who I am in order to inspire other people to do better. I needed to be who I am in this lifetime. I need to be born in this in this home that I was born in, to be whoever that I meant to be in this lifetime, in order to fulfill the mission that I was born for, that I had to be in. Because in this lifetime, we are all sent. We're all sent to do what we are meant to do, and it's your responsibility to find out what were you. It's your responsibility to find out what were you born for, because we are all here for a fucking purpose. You can't just live like in a manner of like a routine, because life is unpredictable. Life is a mystery. Life is it has a lot of things that you don't know about. You don't always have it all figured out. Sometimes you'll be like, I know myself as much, and the next thing you're being put in a position whereby you have to be something that you never thought you would be. Sometimes you are pushed to be strong in a way that you don't know that you are that strong. You sometimes you have to be put in a situation that where you feel like you will never survive this in order for you to survive. And those people who do that, it's your enemies. They are pushing you to be better. It's up to you that you choose a better life, or it's up to you to that you choose a better life, because it's up to you. We make our own choices by how we choose to respond what is happening on ourselves. You don't know, like we don't know how life is gonna turn up. We don't know how we actually what is next. As much as I, for example, I do see the future. Like my gifts allow me to see part of the future, not everything that is the future. I do know that this is who is coming. This is who that I should look out. I should look out, because I have my spiritual gifts works well. I as I am able to see things from dreams, so I'm able to astral uh travel in order to see a certain part, but I don't see everything, because life is a mystery. I'm not allowed to see everything what is but sometimes I need a lot of dream to confirm what is actually happening, or sometimes I need someone to confirm what is happened into my dreams, because sometimes my interpretation will be their interpretation, but it needs some addiction in order to be that. So it's complete. I'm constantly completing puzzle. So as much as that, I know not all of people have and that kind of gate whereby they know that who's after them now and who they should look out. This is for me, I know that this person is my enemy now. Now this is the enemy that I have to look out. I don't know that enemy what is gonna throw at me. I don't know what that enemy is gonna do at me. I just have to just have they were just alarming me that this is who you should look out, and the next I don't know next. I have to go through it in order to see who I turn up to be. That's why I'm saying we you don't know who that is actually, like, you don't know like the whole thing of about life. So don't act like you do. Don't act okay. It's okay to be comfortable sometimes, but life is not about us being comfortable. It's us being um comfortable with being uncomfortable, because life is like that. It 1 minute you are this comfortable, the next everything is falling apart in the next. But I'm not saying you shouldn't appreciate every moment. That's why it's important to be mindful. It's important to be present, because being present is a gift. You don't know what's next, you don't know when. So when you constantly think about the future, it's okay to be a planner. I am guilty of being a futurist. Like, I used to not enjoy moment. I used to not be able to just be present. I used to think about the future. I was that kind of a person. Like, I didn't know how to enjoy a moment. So when you relate with this one, it's okay to live in a moment. You're not gonna die from that. You're not gonna die from experiencing that. But at the same time, I still don't agree with what what they say. There's something that people say. I'm here for the good time and a long time. It's a song, but it's something like that. It's a phrase, but I'm not gonna like that song pop up, so I'm just gonna use it. But it's not something that I wanted to say. The words just don't wanna come up. So it's something like whereby people live in the moment, or like something like that. Like they live in the moment, their money, spend money on the moment, they spend everything in the moment. I don't agree with that. It's just not me. I'm not really like that. But at the same time, I understand sometimes why people do that. But I don't agree that I have to spend everything in one day, because like I don't I'm not Jake from Titanic. But I do agree with a lot of things that he said. But what I'm trying to say is, um we should use our enemies. Like sometimes you don't know the fuck what you're doing. Sometimes you'll be discouraged as fuck, and the next thing, your enemies will be saying something that will make you feel like questioning yourself, to the point that you don't trust yourself, to the point that, and I ended up asking yourself like, this person is not the person that I can go to for the advice, because I know she's always negative or he's always negative towards me. So I don't have to listen to this person. But why are they pressed? Why do they find you so much to the point that they have to make sure that you don't see yourself the way they are seeing you? Because our enemies see us before we do. I always say this. This is not the first time that I mentioned this in my video. Maybe you need to hear this more than you think. So our enemies are the first person who see our greatness before we do. Our enemies know us before we do. They know us before we even know our worth. That's why they're trying, because now we don't know our worth. That's why by all means they're trying to make us not to say it, by trying to make us feel not good enough, by trying to make us feel like shit in order for us to leave them alone. Because as much as they don't want us to leave, they also don't know that they are being sent by God in order for us, for our own evaluation. They don't know that you're being sent by God to sabotage the whole relationship that you have with them, in order to be, to separate from them. Because whatever that is happening, it's happening for our greatness, it's happening for us. Whatever that you feel like you cannot survive, maybe it's a breakup, maybe betrayal from a friend, maybe it's a betrayal from partnership, whatever partnership that you're having, maybe it's a betrayal from family. It's for our own evaluation. It's for our own growth, it's for our own advancing, because we are constantly advancing. We don't know what's next that's gonna push us to the next level. I'm always say this: the more, the new upgrade that you get, it's, you are inheriting a new level of fuckery. Because why? More upgrade, more level of fuckery, more you end up inheriting a new enemies. You end up inheriting a new type of troll. Maybe they're trolling the same way, but they're using a different strategy. Are you getting it? Because you are being tested constantly to pass the test. It's a spiritual um graduation. You're constantly graduating, spiritual. Because why? You're experiencing the bullshit that you're experiencing. That's why, like for example, the last time I experienced someone's projecting, to the point that I got myself questioning myself, like, am I the really what this person is saying I am? I don't remember, but sometimes you have to experience people who project something, to the point that you end up questioning whether, are they, maybe they're being true. Maybe I'm the issue. Maybe I'm this. Maybe I am that. Maybe I'm what this person is saying. Until you be like, and then after like some time, you get your energy back. You be like, after, because we give our energy out, we we what the fuck, we tend to let go of our superpower every time we allow our enemies to win. We tend to give up on our powers every time we allow someone that you wouldn't dare go for advice for, and to rent a room in your head. you give your power away every time you allow your enemies to tell you what to do with your life, knowing exactly this person has never given you any advice that is constructive. Most of the time they give you advice that are destructive because they want you to ruin your life. They want to sabotage your own life because that's what they want. They hate that fact that you are the person who's growing while they are not growing. So that what happened. So our enemies are the part of our journey because we need our struggle to be better. Just think about it. If I didn't go to what I went through, I wouldn't have something to talk about. I wouldn't have something to tell someone who's going through that. I wouldn't have something to give hope to someone because why? Sometimes we are all connected, even with our enemies. There's a reason why there's darkness and light. Some people are still vibrating more in their darkness. Since they're vibrating more in their darkness, what happened is they are pushing us out to the darkness, to the light. It's up to you that you choose to stay there. That's why whenever you are growing, whenever you're pushing yourself to be better, whenever you're trying to push, they constantly want to drag you down. It's because you are moving away from this cycle. They don't want you to move away. And then when you are elevating, when you are growing, you experience another chose because every level have its people who are still operating in the dark place, who still see other people as competition, who still want other people to be bad, who still don't like to see other people evolving. It's both of them that you are evolving because they make it to the point that this level is a level that I choose to stay at. So I'm just gonna be a mean person for to ever person who come across in order to be have a people that I don't have to feel bad about my shit way because they have to agree with me. Why they not agree? They so mad the fact that why are you elevating? Because I try by all means to traumatize you. Why you are not still growing? Why are you like have you ever had someone being so pissed to the point they call in where you're working, trying to figure out are you really working there because they can't believe that you actually because they already buried, they already had a funeral that your life is it's ended. So were you just rising? How dare you rising? Because we already like you died, like we killed you long time ago. You don't, they don't have to kill you physical most of the time because yes, enemies does, some enemies do kill. A lot of people die through being killed by their enemies. But let's think about it. When they are killing you figuratively, they are killing you, trying by all means to kill you, trying to kill your greatness, you're trying to kill everything that is good with you. Why? It's because they know who you are before you do. As they know who you are before you do, they try by all means to make you stay there because they're benefiting from your brokenness. The more you're broken, the more you more like to attract a lot of people who get to benefit from you being broken. They're benefiting you from your own insecurities because your own insecurities feed on their low self-esteem. Their your insecurities feed on their your insecurities feed on whatever that you are helping them to feed their ego. So that's why most of the time they are trying by all means to not to see you move in the direction that you are meant to move in, to become what you want to become. They are intimidated by the fact that you are capable of doing that, you are capable of living this new level, this rank that you are in. So that's why they want you up, they want you down, they want you down with them, but they don't want to be down in their level. They want to be a little bit down to their level so that you won't have be they don't have to worry about you. You won't have to be a problem towards them. That's why they try, but also like to the point that I even ask myself, like when someone like, have you ever tried to let go of someone who's not want to be let go of? Not that they are, maybe they are making changes in their life, maybe they're making something better, like maybe they are being healthy, or maybe they're trying to change their behavior to the point that you can see that they are changing and then you're giving them second chance. But no, they're not like that. Instead, they are trying another mind games or strategies to make you go back to where you were, instead of them growing. The more you play mind game, the more I'm growing. Why? Because I choose to grow. I choose to know that whatever you done to me, I got hurt from it. You hurt me. I'm just not gonna lie and say, you didn't hurt me. I'm not a savage. I don't go with that mentality of being a savage. Savage is for dicks. Because there's no way a human being who have all emotion can go, okay, it's okay, there's a time for savage time, but you can't just go like, I'm a savage. Savage for who? Do savage heal you? Can you get healed from being a savage? What do you gain from being a savage? Nothing. Just nothing. You just being horrible to yourself for no reason. You don't need to that energy. I'm a human being. I'm emotionally. I need my mental health to be in check. I'm not gonna go around acting like I'm not affected by certain things. I get affected. As I get affected, I do know what is affecting me. I do know what is not affecting me. Because sometimes we say something like, does not resonate with me, but they are mean though. Do I need to respond? No, I don't need to respond to everything that is trying by all means to get my attention, because not everything that need your attention need your attention, you know. So I'm talking about that. So your enemies are your greatest people that you have to overcome in this lifetime. Because come on, if there was no Judas, do you think you'll be where you are? Do you think you will have the strength that you have? Do you think you will have endurance that you have? You wouldn't know. I wouldn't have known that I actually have the psychic abilities, because I knew things, but I didn't know which category that I actually belong to. I knew things, but I didn't know anything. Like I didn't know. I knew things. I knew this is something that I need to. I was very intuitive growing up, but there was a time that I'm fucking it up. But I didn't know why I know things. But because of the experience that I went through, because of the trauma, being a product of a trauma, and a concentrate environment, a concentrate life that is full of a cycle, that the toxic cycle that I still go through it, that I'm not moving out of it. You know, when you're trying to move out of something and then you keep on going back, it's like it's a cycle that you just cannot come out of it, because you don't see why are you messing up the pattern that you have that you need to let go of. So you know that itself, it's, you know, it's a trauma. It's something that you need to know. That's why whenever you are called out for something, for whatever thing that you are called out, I like to believe that some celebrities, for example a musician or actors, they some they go through whereby they are bullied a lot. Like everyone were bullying a lot. Like I like to believe everyone at some point they got bullied, but for them there's high bullying because they are called at a different time zone. Probably that person will become famous at 15 years old. So for them, maybe the way they process things compared to me, it was different. I might have been mature to most of my because I'm more of it also. So I was more mature in my most of the group that I've been in, and being like that, but I was still not see myself out of the trauma, out of a pattern. So, and I was not destined to be celebrated. And not that I had any career, like I don't have a gift musician, like being a musician. I also have a problem being an actor. Like I had to follow through like a strip, like no, it's just not me, you know. It's a good career, but it's not me. But I like to believe like actors, because most of the time the reason why we actors, it's something that you're born to be, like it's a calling. But I'm not saying just because you're not a celebrity your life is useless. No, it's not. You are here for a fucking reason. You don't have to be a celebrity. I don't like to promote, because a lot of celebrities right now are going down. This is something that we will notice. A lot of celebrities are going down. Like we will stop worshipping a lot of celebrities, because a lot of their laundry is being revealed. A lot of celebrities are just being controlled, and they are being used for whatever reason. and they are used to distract people. They are just people who do anything for fame, or people who do anything for money, popularity. But I'm not saying all of them they don't have morals. Not all of them sold their soul, because when you sold your soul, you are doing something that is not aligned with your principles, values, your morals. You are doing it for whatever reason, maybe popularity, maybe you're doing it for money, whatever. So a lot of celebrities recently, as a South African, like there's a blend of celebrities that I came across, like not that I came across, like I would think of that celebrate, and the next thing I would hear that they being exposed for whatever reason. I was like, fuck, that's why she was on my mind. It was because there was something that's gonna happen towards her. Because my psychic ability, sometimes they make someone to be on my mind to the point that this person end up knowing this person is going through something, like, you know. So it's not just celebrates, even people with from the past. I tend to have that ability to, I think a lot of people can be like that. Like, can think of someone out of the blue, someone that you don't even like, not even like thinking about, like you don't like, probably you don't even remember the moment that you had with them, and the next thing that you know on your mind for what? There's a reason why they're on your mind. Probably they're dying. Probably they are regretful. Probably they want to speak to you. I don't know. And sometimes they even manifest in your dreams because they want to say something. To the point that there was even a time where like my first boyfriend, like he hurt me like so badly, and he only apologized in my dream before he did personally. And then I was like he apologized to the point that he did everything that he did on my dream. Like he apologized and wanted me back in the dreams, and it happened just like that. It's just that the location was different, because it was more like I was at home when he came by, but he only apologized when I was at school because we were in school at that time. So I'm just talking about things like that. There's a reason why some of the time people pop up in your head for no reason and be like, what the fuck? Sometimes you see someone on on TV that look like that person, and you be like, whoa, or maybe the name, or maybe the date of their birth, if you still remember it, or maybe the music that they used to like, something like that. There's a reason why. It's because somehow they're still in your energy, or maybe there's something's going on with them. It can be even celebrities. It can be like that. I know a lot of people can have that, just that they don't pay much attention to that. So yeah. So that's why I'm telling you that your enemies are your greatest weapon to be better. Every time when you know that you never that consider that person as someone that you can go out of the blue, they come and tell you like, wow. For example, um, oh, you're still like, you're still going on with that career, like. Are you seriously like? Are you seriously considering being a dancer? Like, I probably talk to that person before you even cut them off, before you even go fully with you being a dancer, and they're still on it, they're still hang on it. There's a reason that why they're still hanging on it. This is something we should ask ourselves instead of trying like, maybe she's right, or maybe he's right. Oh please, you'll never be a great you'll never be a great actor. Like there's a reason why they do that. Like, don't just assume that maybe they are right. There is a reason why they need you to be in pain in order for you to see that no, this person, I'm not gonna listen to that person, to the point that you upgrading from finding yourself making other people's opinion to affect you. You needing validation from them. You are constantly being upgraded, but you have to be allowing to be used. You are being used by source. I like to believe my soul is God, because I got a lot of guidance from my soul. So the fact that my soul guide me, it's God. Like, I like my ancestors that come through me through my heart. Like, I allow myself to be that. Sometimes they use other people. Sometimes they give me voices in my head that I need to do something like this. So I'm talking about things like that. So you don't know, like, your enemies are your greatest weapon. Use them. Use them. But don't use them in a negative, in an unhealthy way. like taking their money, trying to do what some every. I know I'm not promoting that. I'm talking about you. Every time someone that you just know from day one, they never like you. They have something to say though. Like, take note. Why are you being bothered? Why? Because God sent them. It's just that not the kind of gift that you want. So allow that to happen. Bye.